What's up, guys? So, as you know, the car's been done for a little bit, painted for quite a while. Well, the first couple of times that I took this car out, in fact, the first drive I took this car out, I had the coils too low because when I had originally set down the car on the coils, I had like that much gap, and I figured that'd be enough. Well, then they settled, and that gap turned to that. I don't know if you can see it. There's some hairline fractures here, and they're definitely past clear coat, and I think they're past paint. I think it's just through the paint and clear coat, which really kind of upsets me because of how clean this car is. And then just to have that little bit, it's irritating to look at. It's something that's a bitch to look at. Now, I'm not fixing that today, but I am going to fix what caused it. So this lip here, you can see it's like yay wide. I'm going to cut that down pretty far and then just slowly kind of sand it back and sand it back and sand it back. I'm going to cut a pretty big chunk out. I've got my tape line here so I don't cut too far. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to slowly sand it back. And then what I'll probably do just to add some structural rigidity to this is I'm going to lay some extra fiberglass sheets back here or some Bondo glass onto the back side back here just to make sure that this part is good and solid. It is good and solid as it is, I think. That's going to take away some of the structural rigidity. But I kind of have to, because if I hit a bump hard enough, and it's stiff suspension, but unless I want to have a monster truck fucking setup, if I hit a bump hard enough, it's going to hit this, and this is just going to slowly get worse, or it may crack up here, which I'm really lucky that it didn't. I'm lucky that it cracked down here, which isn't that big a deal. It's not that noticeable, versus somewhere up here. That's something that I think is going to be fairly easy to fix. I don't know if it'll be fixable by just kind of sanding that down. So I'm thinking that's about as much as I'm going to take off of there. You can see it's a bit thinner now, and I think that'll clear the tire just fine. Because, and I don't know if this is just because that's where it happened to be. That was the furthest spot, but you can see it was rubbing there on the inside edge, and it wasn't really rubbing here. So I'm thinking that we've taken plenty now, that it should be fine. I'm thinking that ought to be just fine. So I could run a smaller spacer. I wouldn't have a problem, but then it's going to be all sunk in, so I don't want to do that either. Now I can put a little bit of Bondo glass back here just for a little added support, because you see it's a little more flimsy now. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Add some Bondo glass back here, which might add a little weight, more weight than what this was, because this weighs nothing, but be better than not having any type of structural support. So, all right, guys. So I got Bondo hair. I'm out of Bondo glass. This is what I'm going to use, because this is what I got. I'm sure that there's some professional out there that's going to say this is wrong. I've got some of this stuff, the fiberglass cloth. I've got the resin, but I don't remember where my activator for that is. I thought I had some. I don't think you can just use regular Bondo activator for that. You've got to use, there's like a liquid that comes with it that you're supposed to use. So I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use this. This stuff's really strong anyways. So I think it'll hold up. It's just for a little extra peace of mind is all it's for anyways. And so I'm just going to put a thin layer on there. I'm not even going to sand it down. It's never going to be seen, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to get to mixing that up. Can see there just a little extra fiberglass, a little thicker there, just for a little added support. Okay, so dilemma. This side ought to never have any issues. It'll tuck in there just fine. And I don't know why S chassis are like this, because I've seen a couple other guys have the same complaint. This side is still poked out, and so it'll still hit. So I need like an offset spacer. I need this spacer to be like, I don't know, 2 millimeters shorter than the other side. So I need to get custom spacers, I guess. I don't even know that that's something you can do. But yeah, so that's the final result. This side will work a lot better. And I don't know, maybe this side's just cambered a little more. If I just took and, I'm going to take this to get an alignment here pretty soon. So whenever I do that, I'll have everything kind of looked at and analyzed and see what the deal is. And see if I can have this one, you know, get it matched up a little better. Because I have adjusted some of the suspension on this one, and I didn't adjust it over here. So maybe that's what I need. I need to just kind of, because I'd be okay. It's got a little camber on the back. I'd be okay with just a little bit, but I don't want to have too much because it's the rear, of course. So yeah, if we could just tilt that up just a little, and then I'd be happy. That'd be fine with me. And we'll never have any issues. And now I've just got to get that fixed. And once I get that fixed, I kind of want to go through and repolish this car, because the more I look at it, the more I see that it didn't do the best job polishing. There's some spots that are just rough. Obviously, I'm going to notice more than anybody else ever will. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. It still is a little wobbly, but doing that little bit of extra support did help quite a bit on the wobbliness. So, I mean, just don't have anybody lean up on the thing. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.